Aloha and welcome to Ascension Alliance Hawaii. So this year I decided to go to the 2025 Tucson Gem, Mineral, and Fossil Show in Arizona, Tucson. Now, this is a business trip for myself, and I needed to restock on inventory because my inventory is low. So I decided last minute, and normally I don't go last minute because the prices are much higher, but this was a must trip for myself and a much needed trip as well. So my flights were connecting flights going to Tucson as well as coming back from Tucson. And let me tell you, coming back was very brutal for myself and awfully tiring, but well worth the trip. And I've got to see old friends there and miners and new vendors as well, and making many connections in business and friendship and connections from the heart. So there are many different shows going on in the Tucson Gem, Mineral, and Fossil Show, and they are massive shows. But here is where it's open to the public and anyone can go. It's wholesale as well as retail. And if you are a business owner and you have your license and your tax ID number, you're allowed to get wholesale prices. Now, some of the vendors here only do wholesale, and they do not allow the public that does not have wholesale licensing. So these are just a few of the shows that I am showing you that I have gone through with a massive amount of material, inventory in a variety of different stones, minerals, fossils, jewelry, you name it. There were many different vendors there, not just the stones and minerals, but so much more going on in these shows. And I've noticed that these shows have gotten more busier throughout the years and just a lot crazier, but a wonderful crazy, so to speak. So here you'll see a lot of ginormous crystals, carvings, rare stones, and gemstones as well, all over the place and all over in different shows. And the 22nd Street show here, one of the tents is at least a mile long. So many of these shows you will take at least a couple hours, maybe the entire day. And they have ongoing shows that happen simultaneously throughout the entire city of Tucson. And it's just a sight to see. And if you have not gone to one of these gem shows, I highly suggest to book a flight, book accommodations ahead of time, at least 6 months to a year in your accommodations, because a lot of these vendors end up taking up all the hotel rooms, connecting hotel rooms as well, because that is where they display and showcase all of their goods, and they sell everything out of the hotels as well. Now, some of the shows are big tents, so be prepared to be walking a lot. Now, this here show was at the Red Lion Inn, And that one is another massive show. They not only sell their goods from their hotel rooms, but also the stretch of property outside of their rooms, like you see here, are utilized as well with all of their material and inventory in whatever they may be selling in different stones and carvings and jewelry and minerals. But it's just a sight to see. And if you have not gone to one of these shows, make that a point to make these shows because they are simply amazing, stunning, incredible. Now, this here is one of the rooms that one of the vendors were in, and see how they just transform the entire room into a showcase, a mini showcase room, which is just amazing. Now, you can also get overwhelmed by all of these stones and everything. I would suggest taking those breaks. There are food trucks at many of these shows, and there are a lot of different eating places along the way that you can also go to if you decide to do so. But yes, these shows are very overwhelming. Now, when you go, it's best to take at least 4,000 and up because you're going to see a lot of things that you may want, that your clients and customers may want and or need. So make a list so that you somewhat stick to that list and find what you are looking for, because there are many vendors with almost the same things as well, but the price points are all over the place. So be prepared to spend a lot of money in these shows. And for me, I had a list, so I knew exactly what I was looking for. Periodically, I'd veer off my list, but I still managed to check off quite a lot that was on that list for my customers. I've come across so many beautiful pieces that I just wanted to bring home, but I was kind of skeptic about packing these particular pieces that I wanted to bring home because they were large and they were carvings, animal carvings, that I did not quite know how I would pack something like this and like the parrot there. You know, it was just amazing and stunning pieces to see. And it's just incredible. You know, every show was different. And the materials, some shows had certain materials that perhaps I was looking for, and some did not. Maybe a few pieces that I did not quite find that I was looking for. I'll just have to wait till probably next year again, if and when I decide to go. But overall, I simply love going to these shows and meeting new people, meeting new vendors, just connecting with a lot of different people. And the thing I like about this show is a lot of the big shows and tents, you have these big carts that you can roll around and put your items on them without having to worry that they were going to break, fall over, and whatnot. So that was a plus as well that I really liked. But I also noticed that a lot of the prices have exponentially gone up. Now, versus 5 years ago, when I last went, a lot has happened within the time frame of 5 years. But nevertheless, I did manage to find a lot of great deals. Now, I usually go the last week of the gem show here. Only being is you get great discounts, and a lot of the vendors start to give huge percentages off of their products and items and inventory. They start dropping prices, and that's a plus. But the negative on that side is you miss a lot of the newer material in the beginning of the shows, when the shows just start. And so I think it started the ending part of January. So I ended up going the last week of the shows, which I don't mind. I really love going anytime, actually. But the last week of the shows is my most preferred time to go. Now, I came across a lot of different stones that I have not seen as well, and across a lot of different great deals and sales going on, 20% off, 50% off, 70% off, like these beads. And they were incredible prices, but I did not need any more beads because I have so much beads already. Perhaps next time I'll use some beads, but for now there's no need. There were a lot of different jewelry, pendants, rings, necklaces, pendulums, just a host of different types of items there. As you can see here, there were a lot of carvings, and this one is wood carvings, which I thought was really amazing, really nice workmanship in these carvings. I would have loved to bring home that sea turtle carving there, but then again, I'm kind of skeptic about shipping big things back home. Now, when it comes to shipping, these gem shows do have UPS shipping stations and offices on site of certain shows. So you need to know which shows have the UPS shipping stations. And for myself, I end up shipping everything back versus bringing it back in my luggage, carry-on and bag, which would be much heavier. And that would cost, because I'll be carrying a lot of heavy weight in rocks, stones, minerals, crystals. And to alleviate that, I just ship it back. Not everybody would prefer that, but for the most, I believe if you're smart enough, you would do that and ship these heavyweight items back home. Now, there were these beautiful lamps here that I also was thinking about picking up, but I thought, oh my gosh, maybe another time. And these carved miniature birds were so cute. I wanted to get the whole box, but I said, no, I best not get that yet, because I was still there for a couple more days and still looking around for specific items that were still on the list that I had. Now, here's the UPS store, and I did go there when I was at the Keno Sports Complex show, which is here. Now, this is a ginormous show in and of itself, with so much to see and so much to take in. And overwhelming is an understatement when it comes to going to these gem shows. But it's still an exciting place to be. For myself, it's a magical time in Tucson. and everything is popping there, and just huge shows to see. So I managed to see quite a lot of shows here. Not all of the shows that I'd like to see, but I did get to see a majority of the main shows. And these massive shows, I could not even complete because it was that big. So next time, I'll do my best to complete whatever I did not complete. But next time, next year, they'll have even more items and more new material that I would have to start all over again, joyfully. But yeah, you know, go see this show if you have not seen this show. Now, the gem shows are annually, and the Tucson Gem Show is normally every year between January and February. I think it's a couple weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, about there. So you have that time frame to go between those times. If you're deciding to go and you have not gone to one of these shows in Tucson, Arizona, do watch a lot of videos on YouTube, because there is a flurry of videos on YouTube here that will show you so many of the different shows, so many aspects of it, sides of it, interviews going on. I did not interview anyone during this show because there's so many videos out there that show interviews going on. And a lot of times, if you're taking pictures or videos of the vendors, I would suggest to ask for permission, because not all of them want to be videoed, and not all of them want their goods, or if there's prices on the table of their goods, they don't want that to be advertised. I'm just thinking maybe because of the competition amongst one another. Now, these are gorgeous birds, carvings of the birds, and I really love these. I wanted to bring every single one of these home, but I did manage to get me some birds, different birds, and I did manage to pack it very well. I had a friend that was a vendor there, and he packed the birds that I did get from him superbly, and I just walked out the door and had it shipped from the UPS office and station that happened to be at that show. So a lot to take in here, a lot of crystals going on, a lot of people, a lot of rare items, such as this one, which happens to be Wave Hill Australian Prehnite, which is a high quality stone, and I've never seen this before, and they are the only ones that carry these high quality prehnite stones. So I picked me up a couple just to bring it back home and see how it goes and what my customers would like. And yeah, so this is one of my friends' booths here, and he had just a zillion wonderful items that I did happen to comb through and pick up a few special pieces from him. I really loved quite a lot of pieces that he did have, and he does have quite a lot of high quality material from Brazil, Madagascar, different countries. So a lot of these vendors are from different countries: Morocco, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, China, Canada, Australia. You have a whole bunch of different vendors here, Russia. Yeah, so I mean, going to these shows are simply the bomb, in my humble opinion. And you never know what you're going to find. And if you're looking for something, more than likely, you're going to find a lot of that something that you happen to be looking for. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video of mine that I have created here. And think about going to these shows. They are simply the best shows to be seen and the biggest gem show on this planet. Everyone is there. Everyone is shopping. Everyone is experiencing so much wonderful stones, wonderful experiences with everything. Aloha.